At none, and I have an unstoppable determination to kill all known germs dead. I am Domestos, and I am unstoppable.
This is a report from Save the Children. Right now, children are arriving in hospitals across Central Africa, undernourished and in desperate need of treatment. Pierre is 4 years old. He should have his whole life ahead of him. But because of a simple lack of nutrition, his body is weak and he is fighting to stay alive.
His condition is critical. He has half of the normal weight for his age.
He needs medicine and he needs therapeutic food urgently.
If Pierre doesn't get basic medicine and therapeutic food, he will die.
Children like Pierre are the reason we're asking for your help. You can help us provide the food and medicine these children need by texting Pierre7 to 70002 and giving £3 a month. This small monthly donation could be the reason a child like Pierre survives.
We are doing everything we can, but we need help. We need help.
Please text Pierre7 to 70002 to give £3 a month through your mobile. Your text could help a child like Pierre win their fight to survive.
Last time Jurgen Klopp was at Anfield, he saw his team confirm Champions League qualification with an emphatic win against Brighton. What can the Reds achieve this season under his tutelage? Well, this is the team he selected for the final pre-season friendly before it all starts on Sunday against West Ham. Alisson keeps goal at Anfield for the first time. A back four of two youngsters, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Nat Phillips, alongside the more experienced Virgil van Dijk, and the captain for the night, Alberto Moreno. Keita and Fabinho playing at Anfield at the first time alongside Gini Wijnaldum. The front three of Salah, Firmino and Mane. And on the bench, Jordan Henderson and Adam Lallana, both amongst the substitutes. But what of not Napoli, that was Saturday, Torino. Let's have a look at their team now with Claire.
Thanks, Rob. Well, tonight's opposition are 4 games into their pre-season schedule. Tonight's game is the 5th and final one before they kick things off in their league campaign against Roma. It's been a pretty successful summer so far, 4 victories, and they haven't conceded a single goal, like Jurgen Klopp as well. Walter Mazzarri is bedding in a few new players. This is the side he selected to face the Reds here at Anfield tonight. It's Seguire, Iso, Nicolu, Bremer, Rincon, Berenguer, Bazelli, Maite and Saldi, Belotti and Iago Falque. That 11 again: Seguire, Iso, Nicolu, Bremer, Rincon, Berenguer, Bazelli, Maite and Saldi, Belotti and Iago Falque. Well, Walter Mazzarri will probably want to turn his record against Liverpool around. He's faced us 4 times as a manager. He's yet to get a victory, and pre-season or not, any manager worth his salt would want a Liverpool scalp on their CV. Rob.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the manager, Walter Mazzarri, because he had a bit of time in England at Watford, Stephen Warnock. It was a bit underwhelming and never really quite got going for him, did it?
No, it didn't. It's a very tough job going in at Watford. He's a defensive-minded manager. We understand that. We can see that from his defensive record. And he's come here and he's got the mid-table. They finished 9th last season, so he's a progressive manager, and I think the Italian league suits him.
I was just about to say, Chris, is someone who's perhaps a touch more pragmatic, maybe more suited to Serie A than they are the Premier League?
Possibly. I mean, didn't see too much. Obviously, Joe Hart was at Torino, weren't he? They score a lot of goals, but they do concede a lot as well. And that's what I remember Torino being the last couple of seasons. Obviously, Belletti at front is the main man. He's been linked with many moves, as Steve was saying earlier on. Big money moves as well. So we're going to have to be careful of him tonight, because he's probably the one big danger.
Have you seen much of Andrea Belotti?
Seeing little bits and pieces. Like you say, you're getting linked with big clubs, so you naturally Google them, you want to find out information about them. The season before last was the season that he scored a lot of goals. He scored about, I think it was something like 26 goals, which is a hell of a record in Serie A. Last year, I think he only got 12 goals, so he dropped off a little bit, probably because of the price, the circus that came round him, and moving to possibly Chelsea or one of the bigger clubs.
I guess the other thing to mention about these Italian clubs, Chris, is they're a touch behind in their pre-season. They don't start Serie A, they start against Roma the week after Liverpool. So is that something to bear in mind, that you really want Liverpool to look like they're on a level physically above Napoli tonight? Torino. Why do I keep calling them Napoli?
I know.
Torino.
They'll be nervous coming here tonight against Liverpool, knowing that Liverpool are playing Sunday in the opening game. All the players will want to make a statement tonight to be in that team on Sunday, so they're going to have the work cut out tonight, and I'm not too sure they'll be looking forward to it.
Well, not long to go until kick-off here at Anfield. Liverpool against Torino in the final pre-season game. Just one defeat in 8 matches so far. Can Mo Salah and the rest extend that record tonight against Torino? Build up, and he'll hear from Nat Phillips in just a few minutes' time.
Would you spray antiperspirant on your favourite dress?
No. No.
These women tried it, and they couldn't believe their eyes.
What? Oh.
New Dove is proven to be invisible on all the colours of the rainbow. Dove Invisible, proven to leave no white marks on 100 colours.
How do you deal with high cholesterol? Did you know that Flora Proactive with plant sterols can help? Lower your cholesterol in just 21 days.
Amina would ask you something, if she could. She'd ask you to save her life, but she's too exhausted. She'd look you in the eye. She'd ask again if she thought someone, somewhere, had the heart to help. If Amina could ask you, would you help? You can help. You can save children's lives by calling Save the Children today. To help a child survive, will you give just £2 a month? Please give your support today by calling 0800 048 2799. Please, help a child like Amina right now. We know what it takes to save a child's life. The solutions are simple, but we need your help. £2 can buy the food to keep a child alive. Amina can't ask you, but we can. Please, will you stop children dying? Call 0800 048 2799 and give £2 a month. Thank you.
The final moments of the Liverpool warm-up here at Anfield as they prepare to face Torino in their final pre-season game. One last chance, maybe they force their way into the 11 for Sunday, with the Reds now almost back at full strength. Because there's still a centre-half who's not quite ready to play yet, but a World Cup finalist, Dejan Lovren. Firstly, congratulations, a huge... Because there's still a centre-half who's not quite ready to play yet, but a World Cup finalist, Dejan Lovren. Firstly, congratulations, a huge achievement. Have you had time to reflect on what you did with your country over there?
Yes, thank you, and yeah, it's a big achievement for us, especially for a small country, I would say, and people are still enjoying, I would say, this little party when we came. More than 500,000 people waited on us on the streets, so it's an unforgettable moment for us.
What did Jordan and Trent have to say to you when you came back? You broke their hearts in the semi-final.
Yes, but we've been talking in the semi-final a little bit, but you know, we are teammates now, and that's football. Somebody needs to win, somebody needs to lose. So the most important thing, we are back together here, and let's win together now here at the games.
Was it the sort of thing that you were absolutely desperate to come back, or did you feel you needed just a break, a week or two, just to sort of get over what you'd achieved both physically and think about things mentally too?
Yeah, definitely. You know, especially after the Champions League final, it was hard for me mentally, you know, to accept this defeat, and then you know, came to the internationals and to concentrate on the World Cup. It was quite difficult for me, and I had I would say a good break of 3 weeks, and I'm now ready and fit again, and full of desire to win many games here, and hopefully we can win a couple of trophies.
You've probably not had too much of a chance to chat to some of your new teammates, but what have the boys told you about how the likes of Naby and Jordan have settled in so far?
Yeah, positive, of course, you know, and I know them, Shaqiri also, you know, I've been watching them for the last couple of months, you know, so I just can't wait to be with them in the team also. And
what's the schedule for you? Are you able to play, think, on Sunday? Is it a case of just seeing how you go over the next few days?
Listen, I could even play now half an hour, but you know, let's go step by step, and let's do a little bit of the preparation, and let's see what will happen on Sunday.
Listen, really appreciate you coming to talk to us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Joining us live tonight, the man who takes his place at the heart of that defence tonight is Nat Phillips. He's been speaking to Claire.
Nat, great to see you. Thanks very much for talking to us. Fantastic opportunity for you tonight to start in front of this Anfield crowd.
Yeah, definitely. We've been looking forward to this moment, to be able to play at Anfield in front of the home fans after playing so many games elsewhere. It's nice to finish the pre-season sort of campaign back at home.
For you personally as well, I mean, you've clocked up the miles with the rest of the squad. Your confidence must be sky high at the minute.
Yeah, I'd say so. If I look back to the first game, and then throughout the games that have been going on, I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence in those, and you can probably see it in the performances, but also in training as well. When you're playing at higher standards, you're testing yourself more, and you can feel yourself gaining more from that.
And starting alongside Virgil van Dijk tonight, he must be a fantastic support for you.
Yeah, it's been really influential for me this pre-season. I love playing alongside him because he is so vocal. He helps me out a lot, helps the whole team out a lot with his vocal presence, and obviously he's one of the best at his job, so he's someone who I can learn from.
And it is the final friendly of the summer before the serious stuff starts, so what's the manager expecting from you all?
Basically to show what we've been working on in training. He did say obviously the Napoli result was a great result, but there's still things there that we can improve on, so hopefully tonight we can do those things.
Good stuff, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Nat Phillips starts tonight, but let's just pick up on the chat we just had with Dejan Lovren, and you can just tell that everyone wants to be involved. Don't you? Said I could play now, I really want to play on Sunday. You get the sense that maybe the players sense there's something pretty special happening here.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's the other side to him, is that he's off the back of 2 final defeats. That's not a nice feeling to lose any final. You want to put that right, and the only way to put that right is go and win silverware. And the squad that's been built over the summer, he'll feel like he can do that this season.
I mean, Chris, you've spoken a lot about mental health in sport and that sort of thing. And it goes, I say, Stephen just said it there, that it's a difficult thing to sort of come to terms with. To have 2 huge football matches and not come out on the right side in either of them must be really something he needed to think about. I mean, he said it himself.
Well, it's the biggest games in football, isn't it? 2 of the biggest games you can possibly play in. He'll be majorly disappointed. He seems upbeat there, but I'm sure it's still in the back of his mind, and it will be for a long, long time, because I don't think you get over things like that. You have to learn to move on, and you know, he'll be waiting for the season to start now and trying to win something and put that right with Liverpool.
What about the new players that are playing tonight, Stephen, the likes of Fabinho and Naby Keita at Anfield? I mean, everyone will have watched the games on telly, so they've seen what they bring, but will they in their own mind think, I want to do it here, I want to do it at Anfield?
Well, this is why you come to Liverpool. You come to play at the stadium, in front of the Kop, and these are the fans that you want to entertain week in, week out. If you do right by them, they'll back you, they'll support you all the way, and hopefully they get that sense tonight of the atmosphere that Liverpool brings.
And the fans have been treated already to out in Paisley Square. Jurgen Klopp and James Milner out on the stage, and it is that club, Chris, that connects with the supporters and wants to keep doing it, and wants everyone to be part of what they hope is a huge journey this season.
Yeah, and that's vitally important, because without the supporters you don't have a football club, and Jurgen's brought into that. You know, we've seen what he did and where he's turned up at places. I mean, that's special moments for these people, you know, because they never think this is going to happen. But that's the type of football club we are, and there'll be a lot more of that as the season goes.
We talked about Keita and Fabinho, but what about Xherdan Shaqiri, Chris? Has he surprised you a little bit with just the sort of performances he's put in so far?
Yeah, he has. I mean, when I heard about it, I was you know, not surprised, but it's not one you'd have thought would be coming in, but he's hit the ground running. It's going to be difficult for him to get in the starting 11, but what he does give you is that option off the bench. You know, when the players come off the bench, you want an impact, and he's certainly done that.
Did you feel it, Stephen, sometimes in your career when you started to play with better players, your own level went up 5 or 10%?
Yeah, definitely. I think you always feel that. You know you can make a certain run, or you can, and people will find you. Shaqiri's at that level. He's played at big clubs in Inter Milan and Bayern Munich, so he doesn't have that pressure of having to live up to that expectation. He'll come here and he'll relish this challenge, and he looks like he is already.
Yeah, he looks like a confident bloke, doesn't he, Chris? And that's the thing you, again, sense with people like Keita. Every time he plays, we watched it at Blackburn, buffs his chest out and says, yeah, I'll have a bit of this, thanks.
He does, yeah, when he come on it, Tranmere as well. Like, what I liked about it, I said on the day as well, his first thought is forward. No matter where he gets the ball, his first thought, right, can I pass that ball forward or can I run forward? And that's what I loved about him in them 2 games I've seen him.
Put your coach's hat on again for me then. What will Jurgen Klopp's last message be to his players tonight?
Just enjoy it. As I said, there's a lot of places up for grabs. Come Sunday, this probably won't be the team that starts on Sunday, but he'll just go, enjoy it, do the best you can. But they all know what he expects from them by now. You know, he shouldn't have to tell them, and I'm sure he doesn't have to tell them. But the players will know what is expected of them to play for such a big club like this.
Stephen, still chance for someone to pop their hand up and get themselves into that starting 11 for Sunday?
I think he'll have his idea of what he's got, but it's the places on the bench. It's only 7 places, and there's a lot of people on the bench tonight who'll be wanting to be on a part of that. I remember when I was coming through, I wanted that feeling, and luckily I got onto that. So there's a chance for someone tonight, definitely.
Stephen, Chris, thank you very much indeed. We're almost all set here at Anfield. The final chance for Liverpool to just iron out any creases ahead of the Premier League season against West Ham on Sunday. Liverpool against Torino is live next. Good job, everyone.
And it's Adam Lallana who puts his foot through it. Ryan Kemp with the effort. What goal! Keita's won the ball really high up the field, and he has support from Sturridge. 1 touch to control, 2 to finish. Short corner to Robertson. Van Dijk goal! Simple as you like. Oh, Salah's there! He's back, and he's scoring already. Long looking for Shaqiri. He's managed to just hold off by, and the follow-up shot is going to creep in and beat Joe Pereira. And that's Shaqiri! And that is absolutely brilliant. How to announce yourself in a Liverpool shirt.
Norovirus, Salmonella, E. coli. You make me sick. Hiding, breeding, infecting the weak. germs is your bad news. I'm Domestos, and I'm coming for you. I've helped build 200,000 toilets for people who had none, and I have an unstoppable determination to kill all known germs dead. I am Domestos, and I am unstoppable.
Amina would ask you something, if she could. She'd ask you to save her life, but she's too exhausted. She'd look you in the eye. She'd ask again if she thought someone, somewhere, had the heart to help. If Amina could ask you, would you help? You can help. You can save children's lives by calling Save the Children today. To help a child survive, will you give just £2 a month? Please give your support today by calling 0800 048 2799. Please, help a child like Amina right now. We know what it takes to save a child's life. The solutions are simple, but we need your help. £2 can buy the food to keep a child alive. Amina can't ask you, but we can. Please, will you stop children dying? Call 0800 048 2799 and give £2 a month. Thank you.
It's time to christen the old place ahead of the new campaign after a pre-season where the Reds have, in the main, been flying. It's time to put the final pieces of preparation in place. Torino arrive at Anfield for the very first time in their history as Liverpool's guests tonight, and they will possibly fear the worst after Napoli stumping in Dublin at the weekend. But they do arrive here with some names in Italian football and some famous old names as well. And in Torino, of course, Gary Gillespie. They are one of the famous. They do arrive here with some names in Italian football and some famous old names as well. And in Torino, of course, Gary Gillespie. They are one of the famous.
Here they want to put a good show on. We'll certainly look at the game against Napoli at the weekend, where Liverpool really were dominant and never really looked like losing that game. And it was a bit of a stroll for them in the end. I think they never really got out of second gear. It might be a little bit different here tonight. I think there's been one or two changes from Jurgen Klopp, but it's still a very strong Liverpool squad, and certainly building up to the climax of obviously the West Ham game come next Sunday. That's what it's all about. Not really tonight, but it's a wonderful occasion. Prices have been reduced, and a lot of kids in here for them.
We're just 5 days away from Liverpool's opening game in the new Premier League season. The old season seems to have only finished. World Cup, it feels like we've had football throughout. But this is the final opportunity to put those final pieces of the jigsaw together. See the Liverpool substitutes making their way out there as well. We're awaiting the teams as well. But there is a chance for players to who may not have been in the manager's thoughts for a starting place perhaps at the start of pre-season, to be in them today?
Well, possibly. I think he will probably know his strongest 11. That strongest 11 probably won't be able to play against West Ham, because the likes of obviously Dejan Lovren, Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold have come back late from the World Cup. But I think it is an opportunity for other players. But I think when you look at the Liverpool squad, I think that more or less you could pick maybe what their starting 11 was going to be against West Ham. But you never know, there could be one or two changes. I think Jurgen Klopp, pre-season, I mean, I've never really known a team or a manager really to play as many games in pre-season as what Jurgen Klopp does, but it seems to work for Liverpool, because they seem to come out the traps pretty quickly. Jurgen
seems to love getting the players out there and working through their system and their preparations out on the field. It's the exact opposite really to Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, who play 3 games, really 4 at the most. I think it was their 4th game at the weekend, the Community Shield. And they like to do their work on the training ground as we see the players make their way out. Nice moment for Alberto Moreno to leave Liverpool out tonight. Alisson following him, getting another taste of Anfield, of course, after coming with Roma. And for Fabinho and for Naby Keita, it is a chance to taste the famous old Anfield atmosphere.
Well, I think it's noticeable that he has included the likes of Becker, the likes of Keita and the likes of Fabinho, to give them a little bit of sample of what the atmosphere might be like here at Anfield. I think it'll be a little bit busier, a little bit more packed at the weekend, but it certainly gives them a little bit of a taste. He knows what it's all about. He doesn't need to be introduced, and he certainly doesn't need to do any introductions himself. He was absolutely fantastic last season. Hopefully, can follow that up with a second season just as well.
Well, let's have a look at the Liverpool starting 11 that's been named by Jurgen Klopp for this game. The main concerns, of course, going into the first game of the season at the moment are injury problems at the heart of the defence, and as Gary mentioned, Dejan Lovren not being fully fit after returning just yesterday from his extended holiday after the World Cup final. So Nat Phillips, should I say, starts alongside Virgil van Dijk there. There's no Klavan, of course, at the moment, and Joe Gomez is out as a precaution to a slight knock this evening as well, to add to Joel Matip's injury.
Well, that's 3 centre-backs that he could obviously looking to play alongside Van Dijk, so it's an opportunity for young Nat Phillips. I think the games, we've seen him have one, maybe every game through pre-season, but that can happen without any shadow of a doubt to more senior players. I think he's equipped himself pretty well as a young man, so it's an opportunity for him to show what he's worth to the manager tonight.
And no James Milner, of course, followed his 15 stitches in his head that he picked up in Dublin at the weekend, despite him wanting to play.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he plays at the weekend. I don't think 15 stitches is going to stop James Milner playing, to be honest with you. I think he's one of these pros that just wants to play football, and I would be surprised to see him.
Well, this is the Torino side that has been named by Walter Mazzarri. We've seen him, of course, with Watford and with Napoli at Anfield before. Their main threat, of course, is Andrea Bellotti. He's the new big hit, really, of Italian football in terms of what he gives to this side. 26 goals the season before last, and double figures in his other 2 seasons with Torino. And with Alex Berenguer and Iago Falque just off him, they have Spanish support for the Italian striker.
Well, it's a 3-5-2 kind of formation one. And I think we've seen teams come here in the past and play that kind of formation and get ripped apart. So it'll be interesting to see how Torino deal with the threat of, obviously, Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane.
Well, the first Anfield You'll Never Walk Alone of 2018-2019. It is the final pre-season game for Liverpool. Torino are the visitors. We do have a slight problem here because there's about 20 balls on the field down by the Torino goal at the moment, which everyone has to get off, which Michael Oliver was about to kick the game off and we realised there was that many balls down on the field. There were about 10 more a minute ago.
Well, I can't see how Torino players didn't realise there was that many balls on the pitch.
We do need to tell that steward he needs to come on to remove the balls rather than just stand at the side of the field. It is the sacred turf, of course, and they don't like to set foot on the turf without the groundsman's permission.
He may be getting told off from the groundsman, you never know.
Well, Liverpool need a bit more preparation for the new season. Michael Oliver wants a bit more preparation as well. He's in charge today, the instantly recognisable figure, and the Anfield roar gets us underway. The first ball towards Roberto Firmino. He's only had, of course, that 45 minutes of pre-season since he returned from World Cup duty and already on the charge. Looking for the switch towards Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the interception was very good, and very slick. As Alex Beninger tried to move away downfield. This is Nicolas Nkulu, who was linked with a move to Everton only a couple of weeks ago. He played all his career in France prior to moving to Italy. He played with the likes of Monaco, Marseille and Lyon. Well, there's a man getting a taste of Anfield for the first time tonight. And why he's had to wait for it, hasn't he, with that extra year at Leipzig. He's really just impressed so quietly in everything he's done in pre-season.
I think he's the one signing, other than maybe the goalkeeper Alisson Becker, that Liverpool fans are really looking forward to seeing. I think so much has been written about him, and so much is expected of him. And it's not an easy number to carry on your back, number 8. But it's not an easy number to carry on your back, number 8. But he's readily accepted that challenge.
Napoli in this 3 at the back system that they like to play. Quite full for Mane. Salvatore Sirigu is the Torino goalkeeper these days. You will remember him from his days at Paris Saint-Germain. Salvatore Sirigu is the Torino goalkeeper these days. You will remember him from his days at Paris Saint-Germain. 6 years in France. Wijnaldum. On towards Nat Phillips. What a lovely night it is for him. A good moment for the youngster to play at Anfield in all these big names. It only helps further in his development. Fabinho. And towards Wijnaldum. This is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Preparation time. It is difficult coming back from the World Cup, so many players being away.
Well, what is he like? Well, what is he like? I don't think he's even 20 yet, and I think Lance was saying when he gets 30 for the World Cup campaign.
It is true that Jurgen Klopp almost had to tell Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson to training ground and to actually go and have some time away and take a break. And
the same Fabinho, the same Keita. You know, you don't want to be losing your position, do you? You want to be back in the fray. And
Fabinho for Alexander-Arnold. And by the Brazilian to Wijnaldum. Will come to Sadio Mane. And goes Keita.
We've seen quite what he can give us. I think, as you alluded to earlier on, John, I think he's got a very quiet, kind of sedate kind of start to his Liverpool career.
Here's Wijnaldum.
It started with both teams making quite a few mistakes and giving the ball away. And
not a foul by Fabinho, but Michael Oliver will let it go because possession has come to Torino, and Mate will move the ball on here towards Belotti. On by Thomas Rincon, the Venezuelan, out towards Di Silvestri. Not the worst ball in the world, it nearly came to Belotti as well, who really lined one up there from the ball coming a long way away. It's a good header away.
Well, that really is what he thrives on, Belotti, isn't he? Balls and service into from wide areas. He's one of these kind of bustling centre forwards that likes to run the channels and likes to get on the end of crosses. see there that there was no hesitation. Ball getting delivered in.
Wijnaldum on towards Alexander-Arnold. Manchester United played Bayern Munich the other night, 5 days ahead of their first game, and in truth they offered very little going forward in Munich. Maybe different because Liverpool are obviously the home side in front of their home crowd tonight. But will Jurgen Klopp just... He won't want them to go full pelt tonight, will they, so close to the start of the new season?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's one of these situations. I think when you go into games, I don't think you can go in half-hearted. I think you've got to go in fully committed.
Well, there's the delivery towards Salah. He may have just got a toe on the end of it, but couldn't divert the ball towards the goal.
Well, he just does get a touch. But really what catches Torino out is the earliness of the cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He just hits it in first time. What a lovely, lovely service that is from a wide area. And really, I think the player that you would expect maybe a little bit more from Mohamed Salah in that instance.
He set himself such high standards last season.
I think it just shows you the importance of delivery early into the box from wide areas.
There's Alexander-Arnold. Whipped cross was charged down, and Mate will bring the ball away. There is a foul there. Indicator said he couldn't really get out of the way, but he committed himself to the challenge.
He's a little bit unlucky there. Mate just he knocks it past Keita and just totally just barges straight into him. I don't think he made any attempt to try and go around the outside of the Liverpool midfield player.
And similar in a way to the penalty that Christian Pulisic won in Charlotte against Liverpool. Liverpool were beaten for the only time in pre-season so far by Dortmund. Moreno under pressure from Lorenzo Di Silvestri.
Well, it's one thing that Moreno's good at, he's quick. I don't think in a foot race there'll be too many quicker than him. And certainly Di Silvestri was no match for the Spanish fullback on that occasion.
30 now, Lorenzo Di Silvestri. Scored 5 goals from fullback last season. He does have an eye for goal.
It's more a wing-back position, isn't it, that he plays.
Well, Walter Mazzarri, of course, only came in January. Sini Mihajlovic was in before then, and Mazzarri arrived. Phillips for Fabinho. Van Dijk. Almost a lazy switch of the play to Alexander-Arnold. He makes it look so effortless at times, does Virgil van Dijk. Comes off Alexander-Arnold. It should come to a red shirt. It does, in the shape of Naby Keita. Keita tries to deliver the cross. He dealt with the heart of that Torino defence. Mane just couldn't quite exchange the ball with Firmino and get it back. That was the aim from Sadio Mane. Mazzarri up out of his technical area and screaming at his players. Trying to get a point across to them, maybe just to try and be a little more compact. He doesn't have happy memories of his last visit to Anfield, Walter Mazzarri, the Torino manager. Ship 6 here as the Watford manager. Nice take and turn by Armando Izzo. Not the best ball though for Di Silvestri. A 6-1 and a Steven Gerrard hat-trick as the Napoli manager in the Europa League. Mazzarri has been on the wrong end of score lines here. He actually were pretty good in the 3-1, and Steven Gerrard just came on and changed the game, didn't he? He scored a hat-trick.
It's kind of what he does, or what he did.
Here's Van Dijk. Never on bar Alisson in the Torino half now. Liverpool very much on the front foot.
Well, it's very much a back five, isn't it, when Liverpool get possession.
Salah, just can't quite thread it through to Mane, but it was so slick, wasn't it? The interchange was electric on the edge of the penalty area.
Well, again, it just shows you the importance of having wide players that can play narrow as well and make these little diagonal runs through the spaces that are left by the back three on this occasion. It was just a little bit overhit from Mohamed Salah to Sadio Mane. But again, the interchanging, the quickness of the movement and the passing is good. It's an area of the pitch where you have to do everything sharp. Opposition's 18-yard box, passes, movement, got to be crisp, it's got to be quick.
Best way to prepare for what could happen in quite a lot of games here this season. I saw lots of teams sit on the edge of their own penalty area. Having a conversation last night and seeing where Xherdan Shaqiri fits into this Liverpool side and wondering if they do go into a game with Shaqiri and Mane and Salah and Firmino.
It's certainly a possibility.
Keita. Fabinho does well just to help that ball onto Sadio Mane. It's a nice little ball for Wijnaldum. His pass was a little square. Didn't give Alexander-Arnold anything to run onto. Armando Izzo and Kulu will get the ball away.
Well, the game really is getting played in Torino's half at this moment in time. I haven't seen a great deal of them offensively, but just saw that one ball delivered from the right-hand side into the Liverpool 18-yard box. But as you rightly say, John, this is it's a good exercise because I'm sure there'll be loads of teams that come to Anfield next season and play with a packed defence.
That's Bremer, the new signing for Torino, getting the ball away. The Brazilian at the heart of the defence, only 21. And Kulu. Di Silvestri. Forward towards Daniele Baselli. Velotti had made a really good run there. Little ball from Firmino, was looking for Salah. And this falls very nicely. Breaks for Iago Falque, but Velotti was just offside. Alisson made the save anyway. Scott Ledger's flag though, halting the progress.
Fans loved that as well. I know it didn't really matter the save. Velotti he goes and then checks, but just can't check far enough to get back on side. Liverpool again, as we saw on a lot of the games pre-season tour, they do tend to hold that high line up the pitch, asking a lot of pressure on your goalkeeper.
There were a couple against Napoli that were probably wrong in terms of the linesman's decisions, and Napoli were somewhat annoyed, in particularly Jose Callejon.
I do think when you play that sort of system that you will give opportunities, you will give chances. I think what it gives you though is that it squeezes the game, it condenses the game, it allows your midfield players to really push on and get tight, and it allows your front players as well to win balls in good areas high up the pitch.
Andrea Belotti is so highly regarded. 24 now. Shot Palermo into the Italian top flight. And then got the move to Torino and has just scored bucket loads since. They've got a bit of form though for goal scorers at Torino. Ciro Immobile, of course, was scoring frequently prior to joining Dortmund. He really did wow people with his goal scoring, and he's still doing so as well. A few down the years. Phillips. Alberto Moreno. It's been a key ball exercise from Liverpool really in this opening 15 minutes as they look to unlock the Torino door. And Salah may just do that now. Sadio Mane, it's a good step. The defender did just about enough to hold him off, although the referee turns round and says that could well be a Liverpool penalty.
Well, credit to Sadio Mane, he tries to stay on his feet, doesn't he? and in doing so, he loses control of the ball. I think it's Bremer that really makes the challenge. He just sticks a leg out, and I think all credit to Mr. Oliver there. I think it's the right decision, in all fairness.
Well, the Torino players are none too impressed. Andrea Bellotti, the captain, is leading the protests.
Well, it's certainly been raining penalties in pre-season for Liverpool, isn't it?
After they couldn't get one for love nor money last season, could they? Well, we've seen some shared around, of course. Shea Hodjo's had one as well. But now Fabinho, who was a penalty taker supreme in his days at Monaco, wants to take responsibility on his Anfield bow in a Liverpool shirt. Everything about his penalties are very precise and deliberate. And now to open his Liverpool account, and maybe he tried to be too precise. He doesn't miss many, you know.
Well, he certainly missed that one. Wide of the target. There's not enough what you can say. I mean, like, you could always say that you should always hit the target from 12 yards out. But as you rightly say, I think you'd probably just try to be that a little bit too precise to get it into the bottom corner.
Well, Torino will feel that justice was done because they didn't feel it was a penalty. Fabinho joins James Milner as someone who's missed in this pre-season. Of course, Milner missed at Blackburn. It's a very good save, in truth. It's Phillips tidying up. It's Allison, a difficult one to deal with, but his touch is immaculate. Won by Keita.
Wasn't a bad ball either, was it? The goalkeeper.
We talked about his distribution, of course, at the weekend in the game in Dublin. He got Liverpool going, didn't he, with one of the goals, and then we saw him start an attack with just a brilliant, almost no-look pass to misdirect those who were trying to close him down. Sadio Mane ended up putting his shot wide in a move that went from one end of the field to the other in the blink of an eye, really.
I think the best goalkeeper I ever saw for distribution was Pepe Reina. I think he was absolutely outstanding. Did everything nice and early. I think I had one criticism about Allison. It's maybe a little bit too laboured, a little bit slow. I know he wants to be the calm man and he wants to be cool and calm and collected, but sometimes I just think it maybe needs to go a little bit quicker. But that's just been
give him a chance. He's only just got it.
I know, yeah. So he's only just got off the plane, isn't he?
Here's Mane on towards Roberto Firmino. Salah. Wijnaldum.
Well, we're asking a lot for 60-odd million, John. Mind you, I believe it's the transfer record's been broken today, isn't it? Goalkeeper.
Chelsea supposedly signing Kepa, the backup goalkeeper for Spain, to David De Gea. On Bilbao. Here's Phillips. Alexander-Arnold. Fabinho. How annoyed will he be, Gary, even in a pre-season friendly?
I think it's the fact that he stood up pretty early and decided he was going to take it. He's obviously confident enough to take it. Then you've got to show your mettle now. That you've got to be getting on the ball, making passes, and accepting that responsibility. Missed penalty, you'll be disappointed because it was a great opportunity, especially in your first game at Anfield. And he obviously wants to impress, doesn't he? I don't think his teammates will be overly concerned about it.
I'm sure Sadio Mane would have fancied it after his heroics in pre-season as well from the spot. That's really good cover by Trent Alexander-Arnold, because just for a moment there, Liverpool were a little short-numbered at the back, and we saw the danger and got across and got in front of Iago Falque.
Iago Falque was just a little bit on his heels there as well. All credit to Trent Alexander-Arnold, though. He saw the danger quickly, snuffed it out.
And here come Liverpool again with Salah, and he has support here. And Firmino with a little cut back and shot! Scoring at Anfield again, just like he Roberto Firmino is off the mark in pre-season, setting himself up perfectly for the new campaign.
Well, he's only got 45 minutes under his belt, but it doesn't matter when you find yourself in a position like that as a striker. The instinct is still there, the ability to be cool and calm and collected and not panic in situations like this. Credit for Fabinho, he made a really good run, and then the awareness of Salah, I thought he was going to take it once on his left-hand side, Roberto Firmino, but he comes back onto his right-hand side, takes a little bit of a deflection, I think, that really takes it past the goalkeeper, comes off this the Silvestri, I think it might well be, but all credit to Roberto Firmino. Wonderful feet in a situation like that. Wrong foot's the goalkeeper, possibly with the deflection, but it doesn't matter for Liverpool, it's in the back of the net.
And Torino have just tried to break at the other end, and Alisson has plucked a cross out of the sky. Liverpool, who have been on the front foot and in the Torino half since the first minute, really, now have their lead. It's worth saying that Torino are a week behind Liverpool in terms of their preparation. They do have a Coppa Italia game to play, but they start the season a week later than Liverpool. Mane. Torino back pedal. Oh, his cross was charged down, and there are enough white shirts in the way.
A situation like that, Silvestri backs off and backs off. And, at times, I think, as a defender, sometimes you have to go and try and win the tackle. Even if you commit yourself, it gives you the playing partners a little bit.
Might be a shot to hit for Alexander-Arnold here. Certainly was. It was a decent effort as well, and Sirigu had to make the save.
Well, we know he has that ability, the youngster. He's not shy of having a pop at goal. I've seen him take the free kicks, and he strides forward. Why not? It's on his right foot. He hits it with a little bit of swerve. Sirigu, full stretch down to his right-hand side, gets a big hand on it. It's a decent save.
Sirigu got a big hand on it, the 31-year-old. Alexander-Arnold takes the resultant corner himself, but Div Silvestri is there to clear the lines for Torino. Mohamed Salah is Liverpool's last man.
I'm not quite sure about that one.
He won't be for long, that's for sure. He wanders forward.
No, that was something that shouldn't happen, really, for me anyway.
I don't think he was initially. I think he just started to track back. Moreno was always the Liverpool player that had stayed back. And Salah was just hovering around the edge of the Torino penalty area and then just made his way back towards halfway. He's certainly forward now. And here's Firmino, and it's a lovely ball. And Liverpool are in again. And Liverpool score again through Gini Wijnaldum. And that's the old Liverpool. That is a classy goal.
That is a real quality goal. And I tell you what, all credit to young Nat Phillips, because it's an absolutely scintillating ball into the front man. It's something that Liverpool, I think, need to do a lot more this season. That's a lovely ball, a lovely delivery into Mo Salah, and a little set-up play. But it's the running off the ball that really makes the difference. Gini Wijnaldum, we've seen him playing a holding central midfield role, but this is where I think he's at his best, making advanced runs in beyond the front three. And it's a real quality finish from the Dutchman.
Gini Wijnaldum has said he wants to score more goals this season for Liverpool. Well, he's done pretty well in the last few days. A goal in Dublin against Napoli, and now a goal against Torino, setting himself up perfectly for the new campaign. Here's Alberto Moreno. Keita. Liverpool just threatening to click through the gears, just like they did over in Ireland at the weekend. Moreno was just caught. Daniele Baselli just dangled a frustrated leg more than anything.
Battle of the tattoos, yeah.
The Liverpool substitutes don't know where they're warming up at the moment. There's too many on the touchline, and Scott Ledger, the linesman, is none too pleased. Could be off behind the goal for them. Speaking of heading for goal, Sadio Mane, and Bremer just gets in the way. Well, there they go. Head down towards the Kop end. See how far they get. And could be heading behind the goal. It's just a little side story going on while the game is taking place. Here's Nkulu. Bremer's touch was a little heavy. He did well to recover it and get away from the attentions of Naby Keita. Baselli just ran straight at Keita there. Just thought he left his foot up a little as well, and Keita did well to ride it. It's Keita again. Rincon with a challenge. Moreno. Naby Keita is just hobbling a little. Just see on the right hand side of your picture there, just after that challenge from Baselli a moment ago. He was a little too physical, but the referee will let play go because Wijnaldum was able to keep the ball. And here come the red arrows again. It's Mane to Salah. He's looking for Firmino. He'll retrieve the ball himself, but Alexander-Arnold can't quite get close enough, and Berenguer will try and help the ball. Sirigu, that's risky. That was Di Silvestri.
Well, that all comes about with Roberto Firmino closing down everybody.
Keita and Kulu with the challenge, and does well to bring the ball away, the big Cameroon defender.
Great pressure from Liverpool, really, really good high intensity stuff from the men in red.
Fabinho. Fabinho again. Just keeping things ticking over for Liverpool. Gets the ball and moves it on. Wants to keep it simple. Wants to keep Liverpool on the front foot and attacking. Phillips. And Van Dijk will go back towards his goalkeeper, who, just like at the weekend, really has mainly just had to look on in this 28 minutes so far. Van Dijk. Fabinho. Kulu with the header. Mane will try and win the second ball. Firmino. The challenge was an important one from Alex Berenguer. It's a little careless from Baselli. He's giving it away to Wijnaldum. Salah. Alexander-Arnold goes for the return. Interception was by Armando Izzo. And by Iago Falque. Alexander-Arnold there to intercept Fabinho. On towards Firmino. Salah goes one way. Wijnaldum actually checked his run a little and was going the other. Izzo and Berenguer are the defenders. Wijnaldum nearly got away from both of them. And by Mate in midfield.
Again, just look at the pressure that Liverpool are putting them under. Fantastic stuff.
Strong and fair from Virgil van Dijk. Salah's dummy won't come to Firmino. And that's set off towards Belotti. He's capable of scoring all types of goals, is Andrea Belotti. He's got a lot to do here, though. The white shirts weren't too quick in arriving. That's towards Di Silvestri. It's not the worst first touch in the world from there. That's towards Belotti. Well, he is capable of scoring all types of goals, and there's a thumping header. Just crept in behind that Phillips, and Torino have themselves a goal back. Alisson is beaten for the first time.
Alisson can do nothing. Really, I think Alberto Moreno really has to get out a little bit quicker. He just gives it to Silvestri a little bit too much time, a little bit too much space. We said earlier on in commentary that man Belotti, he just thrives in balls into the box like this, takes up a really good position, peels off young Nat Phillips, and in between him and the full-back Trent Alexander-Arnold, and a ball like that, it's just help yourself, son, and he certainly does that. Alisson getting absolutely no chance from that sort of distance.
Here's Phillips on towards Van Dijk, and Liverpool have to get themselves back on the front foot now. Here's Van Dijk again. Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool, who I think Jurgen Klopp did mention it post-match against Napoli at the weekend, did give encouragement to Napoli, and they did create chances, didn't he, particularly in that first half. And similar in a way to what Torino have just done there. That's Mane back towards Virgil van Dijk. It's Alexander-Arnold's delivery, looking for Firmino. And cover was good by Bremer. We'll go all the way through towards Alisson. Keita on towards Mane. Moreno. It's a bit of a slash at him from the defender, but the referee had to let it go from Baselli. Wijnaldum switches for Moreno. The ball was just a little behind him. Just have to check back and get it. Van Dijk again. Liverpool keeping the ball and moving it around, looking to find a way through. Oh, it's a lovely ball towards Firmino. The goalkeeper thought about coming. The pass won't come back towards Naby Keita. And Baselli will bring the ball away via the hand of Moreno. A free kick.
I don't think the initial ball was for Roberto Firmino. He actually made it his. I think it was more for Sadio Mane earlier on in that move. But Liverpool just been rocked a little bit by that goal from Belotti. Just finding their feet again.
Well, they haven't been overly rocked in pre-season, apart from that Dortmund game. Of course, Manchester City scored a really good goal against them in New Jersey. Manchester United scored that stunning free kick against them in Ann Arbor. Napoli really should have scored a goal or two at the weekend, perhaps. Of course, Jose Callejon will feel that he had a perfectly good one chalked off by the linesman in Dublin. Just a little chink in the Liverpool armour there. Torino managed to find, and the goal for their free scoring Andrea Belotti. Lovely ball by De Silvestri as well. De Silvestri makes the run again. Got in behind Moreno. And he did well to recover and make the challenge. Keita steps in to get the ball back. A vital header from Armando Izzo, who was staying very, very deep there. He wasn't giving Salah any opportunity to run away from him.
Well, he certainly wasn't letting that one go and have a foot race with Mohamed Salah.
What noise you can hear is the small band of Torino fans that have travelled to Anfield tonight. They are a passionate bunch, the Torino fans. That's Belotti. This is Mete. Baselli made his Italian international debut in the summer against the Netherlands, and Van Dijk and Gini Wijnaldum. And Here's Daniele Baselli. Di Silvestri's first touch was a little heavy. Run back well by Baselli. That's Rincon's little ball looking for Belotti.
Oh, you can see the intention there, but it's so tight. There's not a real great deal of space behind Liverpool's back line there. It's always going to be a difficult ball. Baselli just trying that little dink over the top. Has to be absolutely inch perfect. Timing of the pass, timing of the run, and the quality of the ball. It's almost impossible to get a ball in like that. Albeit we saw Coutinho used to do it for fun.
It's towards Salah. Ronaldo will keep the ball in play. Here come Liverpool again with Gini Wijnaldum, and Mohamed Salah's moving at real pace. And when he's going like this, he's hard to stop. But then Kulu did well. There was just enough to put Salah off, enough of a touch maybe.
He just got the ball stuck a little bit underneath his feet. Whether you give credit to the defender or not, I think it was the pace that Salah was having to go at that maybe just caused the problem.
There's Keita. Well, that's a foul. Referee's going to say play on. Liverpool have the ball. Moreno scored a screamer at the weekend. Not this time. He crosses towards Salah. Izzo gets the ball away. Alexander-Arnold's miscued that. That's comfortable for Torino to deal with. Well, we just thought for a moment that Alberto Moreno was going to let fly just like he did in Dublin.
Well, it was an opportunity, wasn't it? Mo Salah just having this opportunity just beforehand. Well, I think you've got to give credit to the defender there, because they don't commit themselves. And Kulu, I think, just waits for the run of Mo Salah to take him into his path.
Nat Phillips has just had a hand of Belotti's shirt there, and it is a free kick to Torino. Dare we suggest, had it been a Premier League game or a competitive game, there would be action taken against the Liverpool youngster for that challenge?
Possibly.
I think Lorenzo Di Silvestri is actually saying to the referee that could be a red card. Belotti is saying the same as well, Gary.
Well,
that was in on goal. That's his point.
Might have a point.
That's very non-committal, Gary. Here's Rincon.
Didn't really see enough of the replay to pass judgment.
We'll give you another look in a minute then, shall we? Here's Mété.
I suppose the thing is, when Michael Oliver gives the free kick, then he obviously has seen some sort of infringement. So,
well, the initial view was that Belotti had just got himself away from Nat Phillips there, and certainly took a tumble to ground. Here we go.
Yeah, it's Di Silvestri that just gets the header, and that just maybe catches Nat Phillips unawares. You know what? I don't think there's a great deal in it.
Once he's given the free kick,
well, that's
though.
the thing. Once he has given the free kick, it's a pre-season friendly. I think, as you rightly say, had it been a little bit different in the Premier League.
It's a lovely turn by Sadio Mane to step away from Bremer on towards Firmino. It was all a little tight, really, as Firmino gathered the ball. And Armando Izzo was able to make the challenge. Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold. Belotti again. It's easy to see from this opening 39.5 minutes why he is so important to Torino. Just his movement and the threat that he brings is quite obvious, isn't it, for those who haven't seen Torino that often.
I think the combination between Di Silvestri and Belotti, of course,
that's brilliant from Liverpool. The touch by Salah, the save by Sirigu, the follow-up by Alexander-Arnold. That's a really, really good block by Alex Berenguer to deny Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool carved Torino open there. Salah away from one. Can't get away though from Izzo, who's defended really well against Mohamed Salah. Mété.
A really incisive play from Liverpool. Yet again, again, it's Gini Wijnaldum. That running off the ball is really fantastic to watch. Salah just delivers the pass at the right time. The follow-up from Trent Alexander-Arnold, he feels as if he's just got to stride on it. Let's make good contact and he scores. But it doesn't allow for the defensive wall to get back there and make the block. I think it was Alejandro Berenguer that really got back in that situation.
Yeah, Alex Berenguer did well there. I'm not sure Sirigu would have got there. It's Alexander-Arnold. This is Mohamed Salah. Firmino. Liverpool are off again. Firmino. It's a little short for Moreno. Foot race between Moreno and De Silvestri, which is won by the Liverpool man. Firmino. Well, his pocket picked by Thomas Rincon. Liverpool setting off on the attack again. Alexander-Arnold. Firmino. Not sure it was meant for Keita, but Keita gets it. And Keita's shot is deflected over the top by Nkulu.
Well, he wins the 50-50 with Mehdi. Doesn't fancy it, does the Frenchman. And then it's just whether he can get the shot on target. Credit to Rio, like they throw bodies at it, didn't they? Three defenders.
Well, they've had to. Otherwise, Liverpool would have extended their lead in the last couple of attacks. Alexander-Arnold with the take. And it's a good header away by Nkulu. But they've left Firmino unmarked here. The crossfield is cleared by Bremer. Firmino will try again. Fabinho. Keita for Alexander-Arnold. Keita again to Fabinho. And Liverpool still looking for a third now. They've been rebuffed on a couple of occasions by Torino. Torino sit very, very deep. That's Alexander-Arnold. And Sirigu will come and pick apples from a tree.
Well, one thing that Liverpool's front three lack a little bit is height, but if the delivery is good, then that doesn't really matter. On that occasion, the ball was just a little bit too high, and it was simple goalkeeping practice for Sirigu just to come and take the cross from young Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Swallow Mete gives the ball away, and Liverpool on the front foot again. Salah, Firmino. Salah goes for the return. It's a good stretching toe from Thomas Rincon. It's a lovely step through midfield as well by Baselli. Comfortable for Moreno. The idea was good from Torino, the quality of the ball wasn't. Liverpool again on the charge with Sadio Mane. He wants to run away from Bremer, the defender. And the young Brazilian did well to stay with it.
Well, he stayed on his feet, he didn't commit. Didn't try and make the block too early. He read the mind of Sadio Mane that he was going to try and feint the cross and try and get to the byline. And credit to Bremer. He stood his ground, made the block.
Time as Alexander-Arnold delivers. So really, really good chances and finally managed to unlock the door through Roberto Firmino. They had the opportunity, of course, from Fabinho to score from the spot as well, but Gini Wijnaldum was on hand to make it 2-0, to make sure Fabinho's miss wasn't too costly. But they did find a way back into the game, did Torino, through the free-scoring striker Andrea Bellotti. Liverpool have had other chances at half-time. Liverpool do have the lead. It's Liverpool 2, Torino 1.
Wow, hello. It looks like there's a new scent in town.
Oh, I do wish someone would choose me. I'd love to be sprayed in fabulous perfume.
Perfume? This is Comfort Perfume Deluxe. It's Comfort's fabulous fabric conditioner.
Comfort Perfume Deluxe. Is it your perfume or your fabric conditioner?
Grow your business by accepting credit and debit cards with the SumUp card reader. No fixed contracts, no monthly fees. Order now at sumup.co.uk for only £29.
This is a report from Save the Children. Right now, children are arriving in hospitals across Central Africa, undernourished and in desperate need of treatment. Pierre is 4 years old. He should have his whole life ahead of him, but because of a simple lack of nutrition, his body is weak and he is fighting to stay alive.
His condition is critical. He has half of the normal weight for his age.
He needs medicine and he needs therapeutic food urgently.
If Pierre doesn't get basic medicine and therapeutic food, he will die.
Children like Pierre are the reason we're asking for your help. You can help us provide the food and medicine these children need by calling the number on your screen now and giving £2 a month. This small monthly donation could be the reason a child like Pierre survives.
We are doing everything we can, but we need help. We need help.
Please pick up the phone now and call Save the Children on 0800 055 7165 or visit our website. Your £2 a month could help a child like Pierre win their fight to survive.
missed the chance to put them in front. Fabinho wide from the spot. Firmino deflected it in, and soon it was 2 as the Brazilian turn creator. His through ball converted by Gini Wijnaldum. But Torino found themselves back in the game, across from the right-hand side, well converted by the ever-reliable captain, Andrea Belotti. So Liverpool 2, Torino 1, Steve Warnock and Chris Kirkland alongside me. Chris, Liverpool good value for their leads?
Yeah, I think so. First 15, 20 minutes, well on top. You know, we've seen the type of football they played last season. Penetrative stuff straight through the middle, 1-2 interlink play. Torino come back into it a little bit then. The goal, scored a good goal, obviously you mentioned Belletti. He knows where the net is, but I expect a few more chances second half.
Liverpool have the chance, we said, to go in front from the penalty spot. Firstly, Stephen Warnock, is it a penalty? Yeah, it's a penalty. It's a good run from Mane, gets a little shove in the back, and it's great pressure from Liverpool, especially Salah, the way he wins the ball back, then unselfishly plays it in, just dips in front of the defender, who gives him that nudge in the back, and he looks like he would have scored. It's not often, Chris, that you see a penalty given when the player doesn't actually go down, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, the ref deserves a lot of credit for that. If he doesn't get the nudge, then he gets his shot at least on target. I'm not saying he scores, but at least he makes the goalkeeper work. But yeah, the ref deserves a lot of credit, but unfortunately he's missed by a fair bit there.
Yeah, 16 straight he scored for Monaco. Good to get it out of the way in pre-season, Stephen, isn't it? No comments. It's a bad penalty. There's no two ways about it. He obviously comes with a bit of a history of being a penalty scorer. He's let them down tonight. Well, as you said, nice to get it out of the way now, and he'll score when the season starts. 1-0, Chris. Roberto Firmino. I mean, that front three again. Their understanding, the pace they play in the first half is a joy.
We're just used to it, mate. We're used to it now. It's a joy to watch, as you say. It's a pleasure. They know each other's runs. They know where they're going to be. Gets a little bit fortunate here with the deflection, but he's in the right areas again, and we'll be seeing plenty more goals like that this season.
Can you imagine how difficult that would be to defend against? Because the way they move the ball is so quick. I mean, what was the most difficult sort of front three, front two, whatever you ever played against? Anyone with pace, really. When you've got that pace running at you can see Torino. The set-up tonight to play deep to stop that happening, but with the ability that these front three have got, especially Mane and Salah, they run with the ball so quickly and it opens gaps up, and that's what you're going to face against West Ham. So tonight this is a great test for Liverpool and a team who's going to sit deep. Chris, we spoke to Gini Wijnaldum on our coverage on Saturday about getting more goals from that midfield three, whoever it is, whether it's Keita, Henderson, Lallana, and Wijnaldum now 2 in 2, and it was a nice goal for Firmino, playing it through and a good finish.
Yeah, well, we're blessed with a front three. We know they're going to score goals, and if we can add from other areas of the pitch, set pieces with the centre-backs and obviously midfielders as well, if they can all chip in with the amount of goals, we'll win a lot more games. It's a great through ball, very calm finish, slots it under the goalkeeper. Brilliant finish from him.
Do you think he's a starter on Sunday, Gini Wijnaldum?
I really wouldn't like to say. I think there's for me, no. I'd play Jordan Henderson. I'll play Jordan Henderson there with Keita, and then either Milner or Fabinho for me. But we're spoilt for choices. But one thing he does give you when he plays is his enthusiasm, and he's infectious, and he gets around the pitch and he covers every blade of grass.
What about the goal for Torino then from Andrea Belotti? Could Liverpool have stopped the cross maybe? It comes from a long ball to start with, and that's been Liverpool's problem all pre-season. They keep on playing this high line, and as soon as the press is broke, there's always a ball on over the top, and they get away. And Nat Phillips does really well. He slows it down, but he needs help now. Look, there's no one in the box. There's 4 people round, and there's one player, Torino player, and we're not helping Nat Phillips out. Go and help him and force him right back up the pitch. So it's Liverpool's own downfall.
You've got to give credit to, is it Maita who brought that ball down as well? It's a hell of a touch, because normally you look at here, he's done well to get hold of that.
That's Di Silvestri who brings the ball down there.
Is that right? With the cross, brilliant cross.
Keeper couldn't do nothing, Chris.
No, definitely not. No, I wouldn't have even died for that. I wouldn't have got no. At least he's had an attempt, but no, it was a great cross, good header.
What do we think in the second half? I mean, there's plenty of options warming up. Jordan Henderson, Adam Lallana, Danny Ings are all behind us. Daniel Sturridge as well, so plenty of ammunition to come. Yeah, and you want to see the same impact as the Napoli game the other day. You often worry that when these players come onto the pitch, the game's going to drop a tempo.
The other day it didn't. It really went up a notch, and we saw more fluid football again in the second half, and we want them players to do the same in this half.
That goes to what we were saying before the match, was how we want to see that tempo still high. Again, Torino maybe a few percent behind Liverpool, but Liverpool are going to keep pushing.
Yeah, I also said before, they do score goals, but they concede a lot of goals as well, like they have done over the last couple of years. The squad now, you look at it now, I expect it to be exactly the same. The strength and depth we've got, whoever comes on is just as good as the people on the park.
Liverpool lead 2-1 at the break. The second half is live next.
He's Scouser, working 100%, and he is the player the team needs.
And he's praying for the level of performance just week after week after week.
I never forget his voice when he was shouting on the field, that you could hear it as well very well because it was so high.
He's probably the one player that the fans identify with. He's playing for me.
Norovirus, Salmonella, E. coli. You make me sick. Hiding, breeding, infecting the weak. Germs is your bad news. I'm Domestos, and I'm coming for you. I've helped build 200,000 toilets for people who had none, and I have an unstoppable determination to kill all known germs dead. I am Domestos, and I am unstoppable.
This is an urgent appeal from Save the Children. Around the world, like here in Bangladesh, children as young as 7 are sleeping on the streets. Ignored, abandoned and frightened, their situation is desperate. At the heart of this crisis, we found Iman. He's alone and he's homeless, and with no one to protect him, he could be beaten or abused. He needs help. You can help children like Iman by calling 0800 055 7324 and giving £2 a month.
They are in a horrible situation. People may abuse them. They can be trafficked. It's just awful.
Save the Children are desperately trying to get children to safety, but we can't do this without you.
If we can get help, we can provide more children with a safe place to sleep at night.
Your £2 a month could help us reach children and keep them safe. You can help give children a bed in a shelter, free from the dangers of the streets. Every night that passes is another night that a child can be abused or taken by traffickers. Please call 0800 055 7324 and help give children like Iman a safe place to sleep.
Welcome back to Anfield as we await the players of those for the second half. Liverpool will be making changes, and we are expecting to see that man in the second half, Xherdan Shaqiri, who's making quite the impact, not just to Jurgen Klopp, but to Liverpool supporters as well, and to Gary Gillespie.
Well, I think I was quite impressed with the performance they showed against Man United. I think what we have been witnessing in the half-time interval has been a load of players out warming up, quite a strenuous warm-up as well, so I expect there to be possibly more than the 2 changes that the manager, you see there talking to Adam Lallana and Shaqiri.
Just on Adam Lallana, of course, he was absent at the weekend. It was a precautionary absence, and it's so important, of course, for Jurgen Klopp to have him fit and have him flying, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's a big bonus. I mean, I think from his own admission he'd be very, very disappointed with the season he had last year. I think mainly through the injuries, and we talk about injuries, that man's had his fair share of those, but I think we've seen pre-season that he still has an appetite for the game, and he still wants to be here at Liverpool, and if he could keep performing like how we saw him pre-season, Daniel Sturridge might have a big part to play.
Just a little shot of Daniel Sturridge as well we saw there, and he really has flown through pre-season. Danny Ings, of course, has had a few little niggly injuries along the way. We'll be delighted to get out there and get some game time as well. Andrew Robertson, as we know, always reliable, always flying up and down the flanks, and very much part of the I think the Joker's club now in the dressing room as well.
Yeah, in fairness to him, I don't think he's had the greatest of pre-seasons. I think the games that I've seen so far, I think I've been a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed in him, but I think this is a big season for him. I think he has to kick on from his performances that he displayed last year. You can never rest in your laurels when you're playing in a Liverpool side.
Well, it is a real fight, of course, to get yourself onto the 18-man squad for the first game of the season against West Ham on Sunday. Torino have made their way out, of course, but Liverpool are out there and they are set for the second half. And as we say, it is very much a different looking Liverpool 11, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is still there, as is Nat Phillips as well, and Fabinho's at the heart of the Liverpool defence now as well in this second half, as Jurgen Klopp just rejigs things and gets the likes of Marco Grujic and Curtis Jones on, and Xherdan Shaqiri and Adam Lallana, and now Danny Ings and Daniel Sturridge are the Liverpool front two. Well, he should smile. He's having quite the pre-season. Liverpool's top scorer in pre-season, Daniel Sturridge. We've said that before, and it's a good sign, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think there's no doubt in the quality and ability that he has. It just, we have to see a lot more of it. But just have to see a lot more of him.
And here we go for the second half. And Phillips is underneath the first ball. Of course, the continuity now is with Torino, as Liverpool have made all those changes. Belotti was in an offside position. Interested to see Fabinho now playing at the heart of the defence. He can play there. He's played right back in his time as well down the years.
Really started his career as a defender.
Alexander
fullback.
That's a free kick given against Marco Grujic.
Interesting kind of formation. It probably looks more like a 4-4-2 that Liverpool are going to play in the second half, with Daniel Sturridge and Danny Ings is the main two strikers. Shaqiri wide right and Adam Lallana wide left.
Alisson is still very much between the posts for Liverpool at the Anfield Road end now. The delivery is deep right round the back, and the jumping header came from Belotti at the far post. There was a challenge in the middle on Nkulu, who was none too pleased about it. Michael Oliver just waved away his appeals. A couple of questions certainly being asked of the referee. Bremer wanted to take the throw and get on with it. Silvestri says to the youngster, the new arrival from Atletico Mineiro, just to take his time. Torino showed enough of a threat in that first half to suggest that they have plenty to offer in this second half against their new look Liverpool 11. Back with Sidigou's first touch wasn't the best. Just encouraged Danny Ings a little. This is Armando Iso. He made a bit of a mess of that, did the big defender.
Well, I think he was a little bit reluctant to pass it back to Sirigu in the goal. He'd have been far better off doing it. Again, good pressure from Liverpool. A little bit different. Shaqiri and Adam Lallana as the two wide players, and Daniel Sturridge through the middle with Danny Ings.
And Shaqiri. This is Curtis Jones. Always just going wide of that right hand up right to Salvatore Sirigu.
Well, he has the confidence to shoot from distance. He doesn't quite make the contact that he wanted. What a thrill it would be for him if he was to manage to bulge in the net from a shot like that.
You must love that, though. He's been on the field for a couple of minutes. The first involvement in the game, he's having a pop at the Kop end, and he's got no fear whatsoever. He's shown that throughout pre-season as well, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's not a bad thing. I think there has to be a little bit of respect for your seniors, but I think a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of cockiness is not a bad thing in a young player these days.
And that's Phillips towards Ings. And Kulu with the header. Izzo helps the ball away. Here's Curtis Jones again. Lovely little nutmeg on Bellinger. Alexander-Arnold just showed a little too much of the ball to the Torino man, who's brought it away beautifully. Bellinger there. He didn't do enough to get the ball away though. Lovely touch by Shaqiri. Good challenge by Izzo. Lovely turn by Grich. Robertson, Lallana. Confirmation of all the substitutes on the screen there as the ball is delivered towards Ings, who just got a little too much on it as he turned. He knew straight away, just got it wide.
Well, Torino players looking for the offside flag. I think he just times his run to perfection. It's a lovely little ball, isn't it, Daniel Sturridge? Dropping deep. I don't think we have a problem with that if you have players going beyond them, and certainly on that occasion, you know, Danny Ings, that might be the thinking behind Jurgen Klopp's idea of playing the two up front. Just didn't manage to find the target with that effort, Ings. A lot of speculation about the people forward. Whether he'll be plying his trade here or not next season, we'll have to wait and see. There's not long to go in the transfer window. In this country, of course. There's that's true. Plenty of time to go abroad, and foreign clubs could still make offers for players based in England. This is Armando Izzo. He's got quite a story behind him, by the way. He's only playing here tonight because the Italian courts and the Italian FA actually reduced an 18-month ban that was imposed on him. He was actually given a ban for his involvement in some illegal activities in a game in Serie B in 2014. A recommended 18-month ban, and it was reduced to 6 months this summer. He moved from Genoa in the summer to Torino, but only playing because that ban. Here he is on the ball. That ban was reduced. Fair to say he's probably playing under a little bit of a cloud at the moment. Here's De Silvestri. Forward looking for Iago Falque. Shaqiri had to stretch and couldn't find a red shirt. Rincon. Bellinger towards Belotti again. It's too high for him. Again, he takes up that position, doesn't he? In between centre back and full back. You can see him at the far post here. He's just taking that position up again. Likened to Gianluca Vialli in the way he plays in Italy. Strong, quick, physical. Can you get that? Yeah. He didn't too bad over here as well, did he? Vialli. Walter Mazzarri is conducting the orchestra there, isn't he? He's always been quite animated on the touchline. Probably not quite Jurgen Klopp animated. Didn't he have a massive fallout with one of his assistants when he was at Watford? I think the assistant tried to calm him down or something. He just told him where to go. He's never been shy in coming forward. Certainly wasn't when he was at Napoli. Led them to the runners-up spot in Serie A during his time there. Here's Phillips. Jones. Robertson. Lallana. And he was caught by Thomas Rincon, the man who made the move over the town from Juventus. The 2011 Copa America Player of the Tournament, Thomas Rincon from Venezuela. That is a tournament that will have contained the likes of Messi and co. Not the worst award to win. Finished fourth in that tournament, Venezuela. Here's Grich. That's a good nick by Bremer.
got a little lost as to where he wanted to go once he'd got the ball up towards halfway. And Liverpool have it with Shaqiri, and the idea was nice for Daniel Sturridge. It was just a little too heavy for him.
Well, the pass was too heavy, but I don't think Daniel Sturridge really expected it. You can see that Shaqiri just gets his head up at the last minute. I think Daniel Sturridge is expecting him to go the other way, but it just reverse passes it, and that just catches Daniel Sturridge unawares. I think it would have been too heavy for him anyway, and had he anticipated it.
It's towards Belotti again, who will chase his own flick and catch it as well. Phillips is chasing. Belotti waited for him and waited for a challenge and was looking for a penalty, and he doesn't get one.
Well, it's two challenges that he's had a wee word with the referee, Belotti, both by young Nat Phillips. I don't think that was on that occasion, to be honest with you. I think he just shepherds him out. Just watch Belotti, he'll just lean in. We have seen penalties given for that in a derby, if I remember rightly.
It's towards Ings. I think there was the slight touch of a hand in that one, wasn't there? That was given in the derby, the controversial penalty that was given to Everton. Here's Lallana. Robertson. Jones. On towards Lallana again. Ings will try and get there. The ricochet nearly falls nicely for Danny Ings. It was cleared away by Bremer. Grujic. Lallana. Robertson. Here's Jones again. Fabinho for Alexander-Arnold. Again, Liverpool dominating possession, moving the ball around confidently and very competently as well. A little short from Robertson this time. It was short by Robertson, he lost it, so he went and won it back. Doesn't win the throw-in this time though.
Good appetite from the left back.
Knocked back by Bremer to Sirigu. Mete. Hustled out of it by Curtis Jones. Fabinho. Grujic. Not sure Robertson will thank him for that pass, but he dealt with it and got the ball away. Tough one to deal with. Ings couldn't quite find Lallana with a pass. Off for Belotti again. Physically dealt with that time by Phillips. Sturridge was dealt with by Rincon unfairly. Liverpool have a free kick.
I think he's always looking for a free kick here, Daniel Sturridge. Rincon just a little bit over enthusiastic to try and win the ball in that area. Daniel Sturridge doing what strikers do, getting his body in between player and ball.
Phillips. Robertson. Now Lallana. On towards Grujic. Lovely ball, Alexander-Arnold. That's in towards Sturridge. Faces up the defender, shoots. Super stop by the goalkeeper. Little drag from Daniel Sturridge. Carved the chance out for himself, but Sirigu was equal to it.
Well, really good play from Liverpool, isn't it? They switched the ball ever so well. Shaqiri with that little diagonal pass, and what a lovely ball into Daniel Sturridge. He thrives in balls like that. That's when he's dangerous at the 18-yard box. Such quick feet to move it onto his weaker of his two sides, the right side, but still manages to get the shot off. Decent effort.
There's a real hunger and desire about Daniel Sturridge that we've seen, isn't there, this season? There is a change here for Torino. Simone Edera has come on for Iago Falque, as Robertson is on the charge. It's Baselli and Edera, the substitute, linking up to win the ball. And Edera has fouled Grujic. In steps Grujic again with Rincon. It is worth mentioning that Torino are without Adam Ljajic tonight, who would be one of their main players in the lineup they play in an attacking midfield role. It does offer them so much. A lot of speculation about his future this summer and moving on from the club to get a big move. He's one of 5 or 6 players that you'd have expected to be involved, not here. The likes of Afri Aqua and Joel Obi, Lianco as well, the Brazilian centre-back, Kevin Bonifazi. Just restricts the options really available to Walter Mazzarri. Belotti's none too pleased. Liverpool are going to get Nathaniel Klein on in a moment. It's an hour though for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Intriguing to see who gets the shout to play right back this weekend. Intriguing to see who plays centre back as well. I think they're the big question areas, are they, Gary?
I think so. One for different reasons, really, when you think about it. I mean, they're strong at the right back position, but at this moment in time, we're a little bit short in numbers as the centre backs go.
There's a certain number 14 as well on the Liverpool bench tonight. Jordan Henderson will want to throw his hat in the ring to start in central midfield, the club captain. That's Sturridge for Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold. Could be his last involvement. Grujic. Shaqiri. Here is Alexander-Arnold. What can he do with it now? Cross is good, the ball is good, and Sirigu makes the save and a half save, and Itzo clears the ball off the line. Nearly for Danny Ings, very nearly.
Well, I think there's questions whether he gets clipped a little bit or not. Shaqiri does exceptionally well because everybody's expecting the cross. He just disguises it so well when the overlap from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lovely little ball, whether there was a touch or not, I don't think there was. He just loses his foot and Danny Ings. And he can't just muster himself to get back up and get the shot off and make it a real challenge for the goalkeeper, Sirigu.
He was mightily relieved that Itzo was right behind him on the goal line. Half a save, still was going in though, but for the defender being right there. And Trent Alexander-Arnold's work is done for the night. On comes Nathaniel Klein to replace him. Jurgen Klopp described Nathaniel Klein as like having a new signing and him being available again after all his injury problems last season. Klein. Shaqiri. Grujic. Fabinho for Robertson, for Lallana, trying to turn Di Silvestri around, but he's old enough in the tooth to be aware of what Liverpool are trying there. And Bremer's header just puts Torino under a little more pressure. Phillips. Lallana. Robertson for Jones. Challenge was won by Daniele Baselli. Fabinho. Jones. Now Nathaniel Klein. Shaqiri. Phillips on towards Klein again. Liverpool looking for that third goal that would just see Torino off tonight. Towards Ings, who's been really, really lively. Just tried to be clever with Bremer right on his back, and the little cushioned header doesn't quite fall for him as he wanted.
Well, I think the cushioned header was the right idea, but had he tried to pass it maybe to Daniel Sturridge with the cushioned header as opposed to try and take it on himself, I think it would be far more beneficial. But again, patient build-up from Liverpool. Not overly eager to work the centre-backs in the defence of Torino. Moving from side to side, waiting for the right opportunity. Lovely little ball by Shaqiri. He has that ability. A little deft little touch, especially with that left foot of his.
There's Ings. Shaqiri. Ings goes again. He's not stopped moving since he came on, Danny Ings. He's got as close as anyone to adding to the scoreline. Jones for Klein. Once again, Torino happy to just mob up in defence, really, and try and repel Liverpool. Shaqiri. It's towards Daniel Sturridge. Shaqiri again. And towards Ings. It was very well read by Bremer. And Kulu with the challenge this time, and De Silvestri gets the ball away, and now the break is on, and Belotti, such a live wire, leading the charge. On it goes as well towards Idera. Well, Alisson's not had much to do, and that was pretty straightforward for him.
Well, I'm not quite sure if that's Simone Aldera's first touch, but it's a decent one. One thing about Belotti is very, very direct, isn't he, when he picks the ball up. Only one thing in his mind is to commit players, to go at players, make something happen. He does that. It's a decent shot. Comfortable save for Alisson.
Here's Shaqiri again. Daniel Sturridge hovering on this near side of the field. Shaqiri. Perfectly weighted ball for Robertson. Nearly fell for Lallana. Bremer just managed to get himself in the way.
Well, again, it's no hesitation. Get the ball wide and get the ball into the area. Again, lovely pass by Shaqiri out to the left-hand side.
And Xherdan Shaqiri will take the corner himself as we reach the midway point of the second half towards Grujic. It's a good header away by Baselli. You get the feeling that Simone Idera realised straight away that that was a foul by him. And here comes the change, and Armando Izzo makes way here. On in his place comes Emiliano Moretti. Straight swap in the middle of the defence. Moretti's 37 now, the oldest swinger in town in Serie A, now that the likes of Gianluigi Buffon have moved on. Unbelievably, back in 2004, Moretti used to fight for the left-back spot with Fabio Aurelio at Valencia. Still going strong 14 years down the line, eh?
That's not bad, is it?
Well, the applause that you can see is for that man putting his shirt on for the first time in pre-season. And Jordan Henderson, Morris Karius doing some warming up as well. Well, this offers another quandary for the manager ahead of the new season. The skipper's back. Here's Lallana.
Well, I'm looking around, and I'm wondering where he's going to come on and play.
Well, presumably Fabinho will be the one who will make way, as I don't think he'll be playing centre-back though, Jordan Henderson. Maybe he will. We'll soon find out. Liverpool are ready to make the change. There will be a Torino change as well at the same time, but here comes the Liverpool change. It is Fabinho who will make way. He will remember his Liverpool Anfield bout tonight, not for the right reasons, because he missed the penalty, which is something that he never does. I remember him missing in the Champions League for Monaco against Dortmund on their run to the semi-final, but that's the only one I ever recall him missing. And Jordan Henderson is back in a Liverpool shirt. The skipper returns to the heart of the Liverpool team, to midfield.
The great applause as well, which is nice to see.
Daniele Baselli will make way here for the former Argentine international Cristian Ansaldi, 31-year-old who joined Torino in 2017 from Inter. Once won at Barcelona with Rubin Kazan, with Cristian Ansaldi. Jordan Henderson has gone straight into the centre of midfield.
Marco Grujic has gone to centre back, playing alongside Nat Phillips.
Here's Shaqiri. Klein goes outside, Sturridge goes inside. Here's Klein. A bit of a heel scuffer from Nathaniel Klein. Lallana hustling, making sure Moretti had nowhere to clear the ball. Good defending by Moretti, who covered it. Oldest player ever to play for Italy, by the way, to make his debut for Italy. He was 33 when he made his Italian debut, the Torino substitute. Robertson, here's Phillips. Unfamiliar role for Marco Grujic now. Had to stand aside for his captain, as you do. Phillips for Robertson. Henderson, first involvement in the game. Robertson can't quite find Adam Lallana. Liverpool are going to make another change now. And off will go the new man between the posts. Alisson will make way. Relatively quiet night for him, beaten for the first time in a Liverpool shirt. And a big reception for him. And Loris Karius will come on and replace him and get a super reception from Anfield.
Yeah, I think that's nice to see, isn't it? I mean, he can't have a great deal of confidence, the goalkeeper, but that certainly will be a warming, rousing welcome for him. As you would expect the Liverpool supporters to give him that sort of reception.
And the Anfield crowd has always been one to stand behind its players, even when they go through dark days. Did you always feel that when you were playing, if you had dark days, the crowd was always behind you?
Absolutely, 100%. I think that's what makes Liverpool what they are.
It's a foul on Daniel Sturridge by Thomas Rincon.
Yeah, again, I don't. Love it from Daniel Sturridge.
That's one of those where he just clambered all over the back of his legs.
But he just feels the contact in the back of the legs. That doesn't knock you over. Trust me, it doesn't.
Shaqiri. Really found a way through. Well, not quite created the chances in the second half that they did in the first, Liverpool. Danny Ings has been central to those chances that they have had, and a couple of sighters as well. Sirigu able to clear his lines there. Karius gets himself a touch. It looks like Alisson, a lot of it has been just coming out and gathering balls up. Grujic, Henderson, Shaqiri, and towards Nat Phillips here, who's the only one still out there who started.
Well, he's enjoying himself. As is all the youngsters. I think all the youngsters will want to stay on without any shadow of a doubt.
Well, they have had tastes of playing at Anfield, of course, at under 23 level.
It's not the same, Matt John.
No, obviously, but at least they know the surroundings, they know the dressing rooms, they know what they're doing when they get here. Just look around the dressing room, and a few of those alongside them are different. Little high from Daniel Sturridge.
Well, he did have the option to go with Andrew Robertson and the overlap outside him, but I think once he's in that sort of position, he only has focus and eyes for one thing, and that's a shot at goal, as you would expect from any striker, to be honest with you. It's all wrong. He gets underneath it. Never going to be on target, that one. He's had better efforts than that, Daniel Sturridge.
Well, that's one back, but it is a foul. Daniel Sturridge actually denied by a brilliant save by Sirigu.
He's made a couple of saves actually, Sirigu, one-on-one situations like that. He had one in the first half with Gini Wijnaldum, which was a really good save.
That's a brilliant save, that.
He really stands well, doesn't he? He waits and waits and waits and goes at the right time.
It is worth saying that he was part of the renaissance, really, of Paris Saint-Germain. He was very much central to what they were doing there when the likes of Ibrahimovic and Cavani and Lavezzi and people like that all arrived. And the likes of Thiago Silva, he was always their number one. That's, of course, changed now. I think a few people were surprised to see Gigi Buffon move there. Very much, I think, as a backup to them. Although you get the impression with him, he wouldn't want to be second choice for long, would you? That's some pretty good goalkeepers there, though.
Yeah. I'm going to say something, and you might think this. I never rated Buffon as a goalkeeper. Honestly, I didn't. No. I always remember doing a commentary early on, like I think it might be in my Radio Merseyside. I was calling him Buffoon.
Have you held that opinion all through his career?
Well, maybe not all through his career, but certainly when he started. But you don't see an awful lot of them, do you? So, I think his career speaks for itself. So I think I might have got that one wrong.
That's Lallana. Here's Sturridge. Might try and have a shot early. Decides to cross, looking for Ings, and in the end, just lost the way a bit there, Liverpool.
Well, the shot early was the option. I think if he just looks up here and just chips it, just goes for that little lob. We've seen him do it umpteen times in the past as well. Just that little lob over the far corner. The goalkeeper's pretty well off his line. But as soon as he takes that touch and goes to the narrow angle.
Remember when he did it in the Merseyside derby so well, Daniel Sturridge. There's a problem here for Belotti. He's probably going to be leaving us anyway, but he's going to leave us with a sore head. James Milner can tell him all about sore heads, and he's got no blood there.
I think there might have been a clash with Grujic.
He is all arms and legs, isn't he, when he goes up for headers, Marco Grujic. Just a few people suffering down the years. We saw one for Andrea Belotti. He's the last player that Torino won't want injured.
I think he's a little bit harder than that, isn't he? I've been quite impressed with him, in fairness to him. He looks like a real handful.
You can see why everyone talks about him in the way they do in world football. Here come the changes for the visitors. Berenguer is the first who will make way. replaced by Mirko Valdifiori. And Niang will replace Belotti as well. And Niang, who we've seen before during his time at Watford. We saw him play for Milan in the Champions Cup as well a few years ago. One of the fastest men in football. It's the lack of end product that's always affected him. And Sasa Lukic on as well. He replaces Thomas Lincoln. Straight swap there. Moretti has put the armband on now, with Rincon making way and Belotti making way. He has his suitors, does Belotti, and you do wonder how long they can hold on to him, particularly with the fact that he scored 50 goals in 3 seasons in Serie A. Here's Jones.
I think it's the fact that he scored over 50 goals for a team that doesn't really excel in Italian football.
Sirigu on towards Bremer. I don't think he was named after Billy or Andreas. And Klein with the header. Inside the final 10 minutes at Anfield, a nice, pleasant evening to play the final pre-season game for Liverpool. And in a little over, 10 minutes time it will be it. After this, it's all about business. 9 months in the search for honours. Lallana, nice take, a nice turn, and foul by Sasha Lukic.
Just turns. Lukic. Good feet from Adam Lallana, as you would expect. Really talented like that.
And it was Lallana again. And gets the return. On towards Sturridge with the shot. Just tried to give the goalkeeper the eyes, and certainly caught the goalkeeper out, who was rooted to his spot but couldn't slot it.
Well, I think if it's on target, it's a wonderful decision, but because it isn't, you probably lose the fact that you should maybe gone across the goalkeeper. But that's great awareness, great vision to see that as well. You know, in such a tight area, and an area of the pitch that really, it's the hardest thing to do is find the back of the net. But
Daniel Sturridge looks confident again, doesn't he? He looks really as though he's got that bit between his teeth.
Well, I think if you know that happens last season, he probably lashes at it and he misses it totally. But that's, the awareness and the ability to have that kind of confidence and technique to try and just pass it into the back of the net, which he was trying to do.
Yeah, he's looked really, really fit. Looks really, really lean. Looks really ready for action. Here's Robertson, who's always ready for action. Shaqiri. Now Klein. Good stretch by Mate. Well won back by Adam Lallana. Loves picking players' pockets like that, and did so there to Viadefori. Good battle for the ball, which is won by the Torino man. Liverpool soon have it back, in Henderson on to Jones. Well, the Anfield crowd would certainly like another, just to sign off the evening with. Sturridge and Ings have certainly tried to provide it in this second half. Mate was in the way. Super turn by Niang, and the flag goes up against Simone Adera. Tight one.
It was a tight one. He obviously thinks he wasn't offside, but most strikers do.
Gary Bezic with the flag. Well, someone in the crowd told him he got it right, so he was happy. He did get it right as well.
He did get it right, yeah.
I don't imagine that the football crowds will be that pleasant to them once the season kicks off in a few days' time. Jones has flown into that challenge, and the referee immediately gives the free kick against him. Just went to ground a little too quickly there with Curtis Jones. That's another free kick. A couple more changes coming here for the visitors, as Vittorio Parigini and Eric Ferrigra will come on. A couple of players from the backup squad. I saw Jurgen Klopp's reaction to Curtis Jones' challenge. I think that was most of our reactions. Just dived in a little, the youngster. Remained very calm after it, which was good to see. Here's Adera. It's on towards Niang. His touch lets him down. Moretti will go back towards Sirigu. He was brought in to help shore up a leaky rear guard at Torino with Salvatore Sirigu. He had a tough couple of seasons, really, on the back of losing his place at Paris Saint-Germain. He went to Sevilla and never really got a game, and he was looking for somewhere to really revitalise him. No way through for Di Silvestri, who says that that's it for him. He's done. 86 minutes, and that's for Shaqiri. He's got a lot to do on his own here. Support arriving in the shape of Jones and Klein and Shaqiri, and that's towards Sturridge. It's a glorious ball, and Daniel Sturridge just glances the ball beyond Sirigu, but it's all about the delivery from Xherdan Shaqiri. It is just simply delicious, and Sturridge couldn't miss, and Liverpool wrap it up with a third goal.
Well, so often last season we lacked that creativity in the final third of the pitch from a midfield player. Shaqiri just fits that bill. This is a wonderful little pass. That is so delicate. Daniel Sturridge, the anticipation again is there. He's onto it like a flash. He doesn't need to make great contact, just needs to get a little glance. A little glance is enough to take it past Sirigu, and Liverpool get their third.
Liverpool's top scorer in pre-season strikes again, and you saw him say there, what a ball, and it was. What a ball from Xherdan Shaqiri.
Well, it's so difficult, a skill like that, because it has to travel such a short distance, but you have to get the height, you have to get it up over the defender. And I think when you look at Nkulu, you know, he's a big old individual as well. All the back three have had on big individuals, but it was absolutely inch perfect, the pass.
That's Vittorio Parigini, who's just come on for Torino. Spent last season at Benevento. Had the worst start to a Serie A season ever. Here's a nice moment for George Johnston, the young man who turns 20 at the start of September. He's been at the club since he was 9. And gets a little bit of time amongst the first team, the Scotland Youth International. And here's a man who has caught the eye in pre-season, along with a man who he's replacing, Curtis Jones. Rafa Camacho has really settled into life at Liverpool. And the young Portuguese has just shown a versatility and just an ability to slot in wherever needed.
I think it just gives the youngsters a real good opportunity to just sample the atmosphere of playing at Anfield. I think it's a nice touch from the manager.
Well, Liverpool are off looking for a fourth hit. Sturridge has it. Camacho's just come on. Just sold Shaqiri short a little. Shaqiri will pick up the ball from Eric Ferriga. Klein. Shaqiri. Camacho with the challenge, but can't make any ground with it as he made the challenge on Christian Ansaldi.
Yeah, just playing a little bit to the crowd there was Shaqiri.
Xherdan Shaqiri at Basel was rated perhaps even higher than Mohamed Salah when he made the move to Chelsea, and he went to Bayern Munich. Didn't really work for him there with the likes of Ribery and Robben, and didn't really fight his way through those. They're still at Bayern even now. His move to Stoke, maybe not quite the right club for his talents to express himself in the way that he'd want to. It certainly looks as though he can do that at Liverpool. Karius comes and deals with that.
I think you're right. I think he's a big-time player. He needs to be in a big-time club and with big-time players round about him.
And it's not being disrespectful to Stoke saying that.
I think he'll thrive on that. You know, I think he's still got a lot to do to break into that starting 11, but the quality is certainly there.
Jurgen Klopp described it as a no-brainer signing him when he was given the chance. It's a nice take and turn by Adera. Niang. 2 minutes of time being added on as Adera tries to carve his way into the penalty area. No final piece for him. He's only ever scored in Rome. Simone Adera scored last season at Lazio in the league and against Roma in the Coppa Italia. A bit far from Rome here. Here's Meite.